folks, at this time, we're going to have a special interview portion of our show. We're going to be joined by Tex Lonestar of Doomsday Wrestling. Tex, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here.
Yeah.
Howdy, Tex.
How you doing?
All right. So, going to be having Doomsday Wrestling 19, Man vs. Machine, Saturday, October 1st in Houston, Texas at Numbers, with doors opening at 8 p.m. and tickets just $15. So,
That's right, folks. You get your money's worth the first 30 minutes, and the rest is free.
Absolutely. There you go.
Sounds like a steal.
Yeah, Tyler and I went to the last one, and we're quite entertained. So,
yeah, we had a blast.
So,
I'm glad to hear it. I love to hear it. We love putting on these shows, and you crazy fans is one of the reasons we keep doing them.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of sets your organization apart is that you're more of a comedy sense of wrestling. Y'all still focus on wrestling, but it's also a comedy show as well. It's it's very highly entertaining.
Yes, we pretty much focus on the absurd quite a bit more than a lot of other companies. I do respect professional wrestling in the highest regard, but I've always noticed whenever I watched professional wrestling as a child that it had a lot of absurd moments, and I always really liked those moments. So that's the emphasis I like to put on in the business of professional wrestling. That the product we put out is Doomsday Wrestling. It's very wacky, very very comedic based, and very absurd, I guess is the best way to describe it.
Well, are there any maybe more niche type organizations that you guys may have taken some inspiration from or pattern yourself after?
Did you say niche?
Yes.
niche. I'm just messing with you.
No, I deserve it.
No, not well. I mean, we do. I mean, I'll say we definitely steal moves from every wrestling match we'll watch. We'll think of, is it possible for us to do it? Is it possible for us to pull off? Because we're not the typical, wrestlers who went to wrestling camp or wrestling school. But, I mean, a few of these spots we have been influenced, by obviously WWF, WWE, a lot more 80s WWF, I would say. A lot of TNA stuff, Japanese stuff, just a lot of internet stuff. But I'd say what we're mostly influenced by are comic books and science fiction movies more than anything else.
Very nice.
Very cool, because me and Tyler are actually out to prove, we're dead set on this, that there is a
crossover.
Yeah, there is a crossover audience between comic books and wrestling. It seems like the fans they don't get that.
Most definitely. I would. You've noticed I've kind of dropped the character. It's kind of hard to speak out of kayfabe, with that in that voice. But I'll flow back in. I'll be Tex off and on. I'm just letting you guys know in case you're wondering.
It's hard controlling both people.
Sorry, man.
But I'm Tex Lonestar 24 hours a day. Don't get me wrong. No, I'd say there definitely is a crossover between comic books and professional wrestling. In fact, when I was probably like 20, I was filling out a subscription to some comic I was subscribing to, and they asked, what other things are you interested to? And they had all these boxes you can fill in, and it was like, movies, role-playing games, and one of them was professional wrestling. So right there is kind of proof, that they're pulling, professional wrestling fans, to try to sell them comic books. I'm sure vice versa. And all that. It's basically another form of storytelling. And, it's another branch of drama. It's I won't say it's science fiction, but, it is drama, to it's athletic drama, though, it's the key behind it.
Yeah. It's storytelling and an escape from reality.
Exactly.
So what's not to like?
In the guise of an athletic event.
Right.
Very cool.
Not to say it's not athletic. It's totally athletic. I don't want any death threats or anything like that.
Right. Another thing that sets your organization apart is definitely the size of the ring.
That ring is huge.
Yeah, it's incredibly massive. People jumping off 20 stories.
What is it, like 175 by 87?
Something like that.
Well, we had a guy jump off one time. I think it was like a 235-foot top rope, but
sounds accurate.
I may have been exaggerating, or I may have been undercutting it. Actually, I'm not sure. No, but the ring is it may look small, but it's actually because we're so huge that we make it look small. It's the thing. It's like Rock'em Sock'em Robots, how they barely fit in the ring.
Very nice. And something that Tyler and I both enjoyed at the last show is that y'all come out. The refs entertain the crowd before the wrestlers do their thing. They hand out cheese puffs, expired old cheese puffs.
Yes, you don't want to eat those. Those aren't for eating at all.
Not recommended to eat at all.
No.
I believe I saw someone eating that, but I don't know what happened to him after that. But
just so that people know, you guys are not responsible for if you eat the Chiefs Puffs.
No, we are not. There's a warning on the bag that says "Do not eat." You know, it says the official snack food of Doomsday Wrestling. Do not eat, though. We call the puffs. We call them San Cheesies because they're made by the co-commentator Dirty Sanchez. That's one of the products he markets.
You know, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But he intended for people to eat them and enjoy them, but I guess in Matamoros, where he comes from, the FDA doesn't really exist like it does here. They're not really safe to eat here, but they are safe and they're very fun to throw at your favorite or least favorite wrestlers at Doomsday Wrestling.
Speaking of Dirty Sanchez, unfortunately I had work and I missed the last show, but Tyler was telling me about one of his other products about this soap. Can you tell us about the soap a little bit?
Yes, Dirty Sanchez. Funny you ask about that. No one has asked about that. You're the first guy to ask about that.
That's exactly what stuck out in Tyler's mind. That's like the first thing he told me. So.
Yeah, so more than a comedy wrestling show, we're actually soap vendors. Dirty Sanchez makes at his house. He makes his own soap, and he sells it at the show. And part of the reason he does that is because Numbers has notoriously always running out of soap in the bathroom. So ladies, if you're listening, bring your own soap. You know, I know guys don't really care about that, but you know, ladies get kind of antsy about that kind of thing.
Or you can buy
Dirty Sanchez supplies his own soap, which he sells at the merch booth, you know, for people who want to keep their hands clean while they're at the comedy wrestling show. But fun fact, he did not sell one bar last time.
We're gonna change that.
I was that close from buying one.
I think you got 3 pre-orders right here. Wasn't there a tagline for that soap, Tyler?
That'll make him feel a lot better. He went home that night and drank himself into a stupor over the depression of not selling any soap.
There's a tagline for that, huh?
There was. I'm so unprepared.
I believe it's
the
like
bathrooms are not clean, but your balls.
No. So I believe what you told me, Tyler, was so that your balls can be clean even if your mind isn't, or something to that effect.
That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was, and it was called. And actually, the brand is called Clean Sanchez, as opposed to Dirty Sanchez. So it's his product, and I don't. Tex Lonestar is a very wholesome image, and I don't always like to associate with the opinions or expressed by Dirty Sanchez.
Absolutely. So going down the card, we have Golden Graham, the man with the master plan and the golden tan, going up against Hot Flash.
The menopausal maiden, Hot Flash.
Yeah, how old exactly is Hot Flash?
Hot Flash, I believe, just celebrated her 56th birthday.
Goodness.
That's not polite, do you know?
That's not a worked age. That's her real age.
Wow.
And she is by far the oldest person in the Doomsday locker room. She will be taking on Golden Graham. Mm-hmm. She is undefeated at this point in time. Golden Graham has never won a match at this point in time, but he he's feeling hopeful about this. He's been at the disco clubs, getting his footwork down, getting everything in order for this match. It's basically going to be the age and experience of Hot Flash going up against the style and finesse of Golden Graham. It's sure to be a classic Doomsday match any way you look at it.
Now, does he get hazard pay for having to wrestle a menopausal woman?
Our insurance really doesn't really cover anything, so we're kind of flying under the radar. Wink, wink, nudge.
Sorry, I didn't mean to out you.
Way to go, Doug.
Oh, hey, that's okay. You might want to, you're gonna have to edit that part out. I'm totally joking.
Also, there's going to be some tag team action. The Fabulous Bunny Boys with a Z. Going up against Milk and Cookies.
Back in action.
Yeah.
That's right. Milk and Cookies, they've been on hiatus for a while. They've been touring Japan, just cleaning up the competition over there. They're finally back in the States where it counts for Doomsday Wrestling at least. Not the Japanese branch of Doomsday Wrestling. I'm referring to the American branch of Doomsday Wrestling.
Of course.
And they'll be battling the Fabulous Bunny Boys, the toughest two men who wear bunny suits with their pink cotton fluffy tails. But don't try to touch those tails. They're very, very sensitive about that. Milk and Cookies will be armed to the teeth with their trademark balloons, remote control cars, teddy bears, and Milk and Cookies. They're just always armed to the teeth and ready for a wacky, devastating time.
Do they have a habit of bringing pillows to fight with?
I think they've done that before, or stuffed animals at least.
Oh, okay, very nice.
Yeah, and they do enjoy tickling their opponents, so that's always amusing to watch.
So there's also going to have Poop Deck Peterson going up against the original son of a bitch.
The original son of a bitch, the no good bastard himself. A name could not be more fitting than the original son of a bitch. He had a name before he was just known simply as that, but his deeds are so dastardly. That's what we've taken to calling him, and it's the only thing that'll stick because he is just a no good son of a bitch. The original son of a bitch. He'll be taking on America's favorite seaman. Poop Deck Peterson, and he says he plans to wipe the mat up with that semen. I usually get giggles when I say that sort of thing, and I don't really understand why. But that's sure to be a fierce combination. And I've also heard that Poop Deck Peterson, excuse me, I should say I've heard that original son of a bitch has recently purchased a chainsaw. So I don't really know what's going to happen with that, but we might just see it in the match.
Uh-oh.
So Poop Deck Peterson definitely going to have to watch out for that.
Probably also going to have to edit that out for insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, insurance is a tricky thing. I sometimes I consider it, it's considered a gamble, gambling sometimes, and I don't believe in gambling, so that's why I opt not to have insurance.
Tell them to bring their own.
That's right.
So,
they're independent contractors, people.
there you go.
Yeah, independent contractors. That's what professional wrestling is founded upon.
The other match that has been listed, this is the one that is going to have people talking. It's going to be Boom Shakalaka going up against Juan Antonio Amore in a toilet match.
That's right. The first ever toilet match. Now, it's a very interesting match indeed. The point of the match, the object is, instead of pinning your opponent's shoulders to the mat for a 1-2-3 count, you dunk your opponent's head in a toilet for a 1-2-3 count. And if you can pull it off, you will have your hand raised in victory. It's going to be Juan Antonio Amore, that's professional wrestling's premier Latin lover, taking on the Motor City Mama from Detroit, Michigan, Boom Shakalaka, who's making her long-awaited return to Doomsday Wrestling as well. And it's going to be a very interesting match, not for the faint of heart. There's, sometimes when you have a vendetta and a score to settle, the only way to do it is in a toilet match.
Now,
Can you give us a little backdrop on why these two hate each other so much that they'd be willing to subject themselves to possibly having their head in a toilet for 3 seconds?
Well, it's pretty obvious. I mean, they used to date. I mean, we've all had those relationships where things just get a little too heated, a little too out of control. You hate each other, you love each other, you're together 1 minute, you're apart the next minute, and the only way to settle it, they've tried steel cage matches. They've tried barbed wire rope matches. I mean, the only thing that can settle it once and for all is a toilet match. I mean, I think it's really obvious.
One's a big ladies' man.
yes.
Yeah. Well, he's pretty much any ladies. There's a rumor that he's not even interested in winning matches. He just likes to roll around on the floor with women.
I don't see the problem with that.
Sounds like a winner.
Yeah.
Well,
as long as everyone goes home happy.
I mean, I believe in the spirit of competition, but hey, professional wrestling is the greatest sport, and it's the last real sport as far as I know. So I'll support it any way I can.
Can you tell us a little bit about this computer that is
in
charge of the card?
I'd love to. That's the big innovation of Doomsday 19. We were going to save it for Doomsday 20, but we went ahead and jumped the gun early. We call it the CompuSlam WrestleTronic Supercomputer. It is a WrestleTronic supercomputer that was designed in laboratories by professional wrestling engineers, and it is just a marvel in ingenuity and artificial intelligence. It calculates the matches. It measures the applause of the audience. It measures their boos, their dismay. It sweeps the ring for us. It just makes life a whole lot easier in Doomsday Wrestling. I can see it as a wave of the future for all professional wrestling.
Now, Tex, have you not seen Terminator? Are you not afraid this could be a Skynet situation?
Skynet.
I've heard about the movie Terminator, the one with Sylvester Stallone.
No, not quite.
Okay, I'm not sure if I've seen that, but I've heard about it. But folks, this computer is it's more intelligent than 10 Tex Lonesstars combined. So I mean, it can only do good things. Nothing could possibly go wrong. I'll just say that.
Computers are our friends.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's nothing to fear from computers. Nothing bad has ever happened on the internet before. So this is a good thing. It's a step up. It's a step up. We used to have we had a team of bookers and matchmakers who used to make the matches, but we've since then purchased this very expensive, very extravagant computer who kind of has a mind of its own. And it's just. I mean, we've had a few test runs with it, in secret, and it's a doozy of a machine. Let me just tell you that. I'm really eager to unveil this this Saturday. I was going to say at the next Doomsday, which is obviously this Saturday.
Right.
Are we going to actually be able to lay eyes upon it, or is this a backstage?
Yes. This computer, it's so advanced, it's so complicated. It basically takes up almost the entire stage.
Wow.
Of numbers. This isn't like some little handheld, device that Steve Jobs created. This is by the top minds in all of technology and science and professional wrestling coming together,
which is
to bring us a WrestleTronic supercomputer.
I'm super excited to see this, man.
And if can you imagine the ring is so humongous that the size of this computer must be?
Oh my gosh, we're always thinking big in Doomsday Wrestling. I mean, everything's just big. I mean, we're always pushing the envelope.
It's amazing you can fit that many people into numbers with the size of the ring, plus now what you're saying, the size of the computer, and the size of the wrestlers themselves.
Yeah, the wrestler. I mean, the wrestlers are the biggest in the industry. I mean, they're and I'll say it's all clean. There's no funny business. There's no steroids involved at all. We've all been tested for that. And we pack them in as much as we can. We pack them in. The greatest fans in the world, Doomsday Wrestling, and I'll say about numbers. Numbers is the perfect venue for it because every seat is pretty much a good one.
Absolutely. So it's going to be this Saturday, October 1st. Doors opening at 8 p.m. for $15 for tickets. You can go to Doomsday Wrestling on Facebook. You can also find Tex Lonestar by searching Tex Lonestar on Facebook.
That's right. Or you can go to doomsdaywrestling.com.
Doomsdaywrestling.com. Tex Lonestar, we certainly
Well,
do.
wait.
Oh.
We have a handful of questions that the fans demanded the Tex Lonestar answer, and I wouldn't feel right about cutting them off. Just to spitball a few questions at you. Fatal 4-way match, Tex Lonestar. These are your participants. Tell me who wins and why.
Okay.
Cowboy Bill Watts.
Okay.
Cowboy James Storm.
Okay.
Chief Jay Strongbow.
Okay, that's an engine. Keep going.
And Cowboy Bob Orton. Who wins and why?
Well, that's a good one. I mean, you would say the odd man out, Chief Jay Strongbow. Being a red man. Having he is outnumbered, but they know all that sneaky Indian magic that us white men are not familiar with. But I'd like to. That's a real tough one. I'm going to go with Bill Watts because he'd probably make the rules in the match and not allow them to jump off the top rope. I think he was famous for. So I think he'd be the ring general on that one. I think he'd somehow pull it off.
Sounds like the right answer to me.
Didn't he have that rule though? Didn't he declare that no one could jump off the top rope? Am I mistaken?
Absolutely, he did. No, you're absolutely right.
Okay. I don't want to come off like an idiot there. Okay.
No. You're dead on. Better anime, Akira or Cowboy Bebop?
Oh man, I like some anime. I like Akira. I've seen like just a little bit of Cowboy Bebop, but I guess by that I got to go with Akira just because I'm not as familiar with Cowboy Bebop. But
Tex, we're setting them up for you, buddy. Tex, man, we had Cowboy Bebop specifically chosen for you, my man. If you didn't notice my theme here.
Well, my mom's maiden name was Akira. That's why I'm siding with that. I get where this is going. I'm sorry.
No. And really quickly, I'm not sure if you're familiar with this promotion or not, but are you familiar at all with Chikara Pro Wrestling?
Oh yes, I am.
Okay, for the people who don't know, every year they have a huge 16 trios tournament called the King of Trios with 16 teams of 3 people, and they usually get teams from different promotions around the world. And I was just curious if Mike Quackenbush calls you tomorrow, Tex Lonestar, and asks for your trio to represent Doomsday Wrestling, which 3 do you send to him and why?
Oh, that's a great question. Great question. I'd most likely send definitely to start things off. It'd be our Doomsday Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion, the Kosher Killer himself, just because he is the standard bearer in professional wrestling. He is the World Heavyweight Champion. Besides that, I'd probably have to send my daughter, Charlene Lonestar, the youngest person on the Doomsday roster at age of 15. She's a 4-time Doomsday Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion, and also just because she's a Lone Star, so you can't go wrong with that.
Absolutely.
The fighting spirit actually skips a generation, so I didn't get it, but she has it. She has it, and my mother had it. So so that it skips a generation. So unfortunately for me, I don't have it. So it'd be Kosher Killer, Charlie, and Lone Star, and probably the last person would probably be the CompuSlam WrestleTronic supercomputer, because you can't go wrong sending a highly intelligent machine, to Japan.
That's true. I can't see how you could lose. Just as a side note to that, a side question to that main question, they usually have do you have a name for your team?
A name for my team? Oh, well,
because they usually have a clever name.
Yet, but if he does, I'll have a name. I guess the team could be just called. They'd either be called the Unstoppable, Unbeatable Combo or Team Doomsday, I guess.
Very cool.
Awesome.
All right, good deal.
Well, Tex Lonestar, it's certainly been a pleasure. We certainly do appreciate you being on our show, and maybe we can have you again for Doomsday 20.
No, that'd be great. That'd be wonderful.
Awesome.
It would be my pleasure.
We do appreciate it.
So
We'll see you Saturday, man.
Absolutely.
We will be there.
I can't wait, guys.
All right. Well, you take it easy. Thank you.
See you in the ring. Bye.
All right, bye.